So I want to talk to you about the resolution you filed late last week dealing with infrastructure funding and urging the General Assembly to pass a bill that would give sufficient funding to the infrastructure in our state. We have tried, you have filed many bills, and a large coalition behind you of multiple different groups in the past years to get something done on this. So are you expecting to file something similar in 2021? And what made you want to file this resolution at this point?
Well, Jacqueline, I really wanted to file the resolution. After the November election, I thought maybe it's time that we start the conversation on our infrastructure and how what we need to do to start getting members and getting our communities, our cities and counties, and our local officials all involved in this. So in the past, I filed other bills and I waited towards the end because I was looking for more support from the executive branch and also from the Senate. So more and more conversations going on. That's the reason why I filed this resolution. I started looking at the numbers. We all know that we've had the problem with COVID, and that has definitely impacted our travel. So without the gas tax, we don't have very, very many options to get more funding. So that is the reason I filed the resolution. I want to get the conversation started.
And COVID is exactly what I wanted to ask you about next. We know that people staying at home, not driving, so they don't need gas prices were also very low at that point. We know that COVID has made the situation worse. While we've been seeing some road fund receipts, it's not as bad as we technically expected for this year, but it's definitely made everything worse for every state, not just us. So how much worse has it made it in Kentucky?
Well, actually, the numbers I get with these people not purchasing fuel, we are so underfunded. It's remarkable that transportation's keeping up. Our funding has dropped about $200 million a year since 2015. So actually, we're always in the hole. We can't get out of it. So I filed the resolution because I started looking at our transportation. You know, we have 27,000 miles we have to take care of, 14,000 bridges. I mean, we're not funding. We don't have the money to take care of this. So in Northern Kentucky, we had a bridge that had some big problems, and there's funding things, and probably later on we might discuss that in the future. But anyway, the reason I brought this resolution now, after I spoke to Speaker and the leadership, and I said, you know, each year I keep trying to help our transportation because I know what that means. It just means economic development, simple. So I went ahead, filed the resolution. I wanted to get the discussion started. You know, we're starting to communicate more and more. Our county officials and our city officials are contacting us. They have a need. They have to take care of their own cities and counties. So the resolution was filed. I need them to know that this was filed so that they can start the conversation. They know Miles and Paul's. They know John and Judy down there. They know the citizens, so that when we do this, that they're going to be able to come up and give our members support in the event that we do file something in the next session.
And the locals is exactly a big part of this, because while the road receipts are up, the part of the equation that deals with the locals, cities and counties is down. It's actually a huge impact on them. So if we don't do something in 2021 to pass a bill to increase infrastructure funding, what does that mean for our local communities across the state?
They're just not going to have the funding to maintain their own roads. It's not there. You know, we have the rural aid fund. We've just depleted everything. We've tried to help them. We are very fortunate. We had a mild winter last year. I think transportation, the state spent about $27 million on snow removal and ice. That is really nothing at all. So, you know, if you don't have the funds to take care of your city and your county roads and your state roads, it's bad on the administration, and it's bad on all elected officials. So without that, they have no help to help them take care of their city roads. I mean, I travel them, I see them all the time. The discussion I get from members is, what can we do about it? When can we do something? So, well, we're going to have a new session coming up in January, and we're going to see what kind of support we get. So the resolution was really filed so that I can start getting support from the locals.
So if we file something in 2021, if you file something, will it look similar to the bills that you've done in the past? I think that the last couple of years, they've looked very similar in terms of how much we would raise the gas tax by, and maybe some other things that have to do with electric vehicles. Do you expect the bill to be very similar? And do you think you guys can get it done in 2021, especially with the budget to be crafted, a short session, a lot of new members, so on and so forth?
Sure. First off, everyone calls it a gas tax. I'm going to call it a consumption fee. This is the only fee that you pay and you get usage out of it. You know, you don't have to drive on our roads. So that's one fee that when you drive, you're going to really enjoy that new road or have that road maintained. Yes, we're going to look at it again. One of the things, you know, we have so many new members again this year. Almost 20% of the General Assembly and House is going to be new. Of those, I have not discussed anything with them. So I'm going to have to start speaking to those members to let them know what the needs are. I'm hoping that transportation gets involved in this conversation, and I'm hoping that the local officials do, because these new members, we're doing a budget this year. We have to pass a one-year budget. So that's something new for them. We're going to open up the budget. We have to do that. And then, in fact, we have some road transportation needs. So yes, we're going to really look at it this time. I feel good. More and more conversations going on with the Senate. I need the governor to come out. I need support from the administration that, you know what, this consumption fee, it needs to be looked at, and we make sure that it's a reasonable amount. You know, since we lowered the gas, the bottom, you know, 6 cents right there, we're saving people already. They don't understand that. But, you know, if any fee that we put on there, the people are going to understand. They're going to see something for their own.
You bring up the governor, and especially in the past, like you said, a lot of times it's been waiting on support from the administration and things like that. Have you heard from or spoken to the governor in this time period? I know last year his administration was saying they were supportive of infrastructure funding bill, at least in some way. Do you know where they stand right now heading into 2021?
Yeah, I have not spoken to the governor. He's got enough right now with the COVID, and he's working hard on that to keep us all healthy and safe. Secretary Jim Gray has been excellent to work with. We are in constant communication. He lets me know when major infrastructure needs are coming up all across the state. So we're in constant contact. I got to give him that much credit. He's been fantastic to work with. He understands. I don't know if it's Secretary Gray's ability that he was in the construction industry, that he was the mayor of Lexington. He knows how we're making pennies stretch so far that it's unbelievable. So he has been fantastic to work with on this. I'm very fortunate. He takes my calls, we communicate, and he knows he's trying to make sure that our transportation needs are really going to be met someday. So I'm hoping with his support, with the governor's support, with the Senate support, and with my leadership support, maybe this time we can get better discussion and maybe move forward to help our citizens get a better road to travel on.
Like you said, the governor has a lot on his plate currently, but something that both of those men have on their plate right now is the bridge in your area, the Brent Spence Bridge. This is something we've been talking about for decades at this point, is the Brent Spence Bridge and needing to do something about it. And now it's kind of come to a tipping point, obviously, with the problems right now. There are things with the Brent Spence Bridge as of today, Monday, as we're doing this interview, and what do you expect to come next in order to solve that problem?
Well, Secretary Gray has been fantastic. He was up there over the weekend. I mean, this guy's working 24/7. He's in constant communication. Secretary Chow, they already allotted $15 million, I think, for repairs of that bridge. which is fantastic. The ask went out and we received. So that is helping us. That bridge needs to be repaired. I am hoping that this is fixed sooner rather than later. My citizens and the citizens of the Commonwealth and from all across the United States are very, very inconvenienced at this time. They're traveling I-275, I-471 just to try to get through the city. So this bridge we know is very, very important. 3% of the gross national products go across that bridge. And we also know that hazardous material goes across that bridge. So we've really got to maintain it. It needs to be open. And a lot of people just think that's I-75. That is two interstates there, I-71 and I-75. If you look from Cincinnati to Lexington, that's 6 lanes. From Cincinnati to Louisville, it's 4. That really should be 6 lanes. So we're possibly putting 12 lanes of interstate on 4 lanes of highway now. So it is time that we repair that bridge first. We concentrate on that. Today, the secretary is going to give us an update on it. There must be more news. Over the weekend, I think they said the steel is maintained. I'm not an engineer, I don't know, but the steel is maintained. I've been on the bridge. The bridge has damage on the second deck. The southbound side has damage and the northbound side. So when he was able to get our engineers from Rockcastle County, Louisville, Frankfort, Jefferson County, you name it, these guys were all up there over the weekend working. I mean, they came to bat, our transportation people. US DOT was up there. So we're doing everything we can, they are doing everything they can to get this bridge open. So we're really on the repair that bridge right now to get it open.